Hello, everybody, and welcome to Nightfall League. We got a fantastic game for you coming up here tonight. My name is Eki. With me is Sit Straight for the first time here in Nightfall. Go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm Sit Straight. I'm sure you'll get to know me real well as we get on. I got quite that personality or something like that.
That's what they used to tell me in the streets, but something a little bit more exciting than his personality is Nightfall's hosting a free entry tournament, and any elo is allowed. So, I mean, if you're like me, you're bronze 5, you're good. If you're like Sit Straight, you're also bronze 5, you're good. Every team's allowed. It doesn't have to be just Nightfall teams. Whoever wants to come in, it's free. And the coolest part is the payout is $50. So, free entry tournament, single elimination. We're probably going to be casting some of those games here on this channel, and you have the potential to get paid out 50 crisp casheroonies American dollars.
Yeah, that's bank right there.
That's more than I make in like 3 weeks. So you guys better. I might even take part of that. No, I'm not gonna because I have a wedding, but I want to. Should be a really good time. Other thing, you guys better check out the new Nightfall League website. It's been redone, revamped, reanimated, and now it is perfect for your browsing pleasures. So go check that out and enjoy it. We got a best of 3 series tonight. Full Send Gaming versus Revenants White. And we are in the menu right now, waiting for the team ready. Looks like they are ready, but I actually need link to pro draft.
Same.
It looks like maybe they already did the pro draft because they're going straight into the pick ban phase. Let's see what happens here.
Well, yeah, we're definitely going to be getting quite the treat here. We're getting right into the draft, skipping all the waiting.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna blaze through this. Presumably they've already done these picks, so these are just gonna be a quick run.
These are looking like genuine bans at least. The Zed and the Kai is so definitely targeted, or the Zed 100%. Aussie playing more Zed than any other champion. Some even combined.
It looks like the Graves and Rakan banned away, and also Zed Kaisa so far.
Now, I actually didn't see S239. Oh, sorry, this is Jacob playing. Okay, well, that would explain that.
A little bit of a scouting report mishap. Is somebody playing that you don't expect?
Oh, no. I was questioning a Rakan ban and leaving up Alistar.
There you go.
But I had saw the swap teams.
And first...
Darius, really good pick.
The Aatrox locked in for Drumstick. Darius locked in the top lane. Hecarim might be the jungle choice. We'll see what is locked in for FSG. Rather, might be that Pyke you were talking about.
Yeah, the Pyke's definitely looking like something that's played a lot out of Merc. But we're actually going to get that drop back. I'm sorry.
As Tristana is locked in.
Yeah, that's an odd one. A lot of games on other champions that just aren't Tristana and better rep. Everyone except Lucian, actually. I think Caitlyn would have been the optimal pick here. But Tristana can definitely do something really good with the Darius late game that other champions aren't able to.
Yeah. Tristana's not exactly a champion you see very often anymore. Elo really fallen out of favor more recently, especially with mages being so prevalent in the bottom lane, and I'll be excited to see what the Tristana can do in the hands of Jacob. Now they're going to be locking in the support pick for Bad Burglar. Looks like it's going to be an Alistar.
Yeah, so this is what confused me. Banning Alistar, or banning Rakan and leaving up Alistar when they don't play Xayah. It's just a little odd.
Yep. I mean, we don't really know what order these went into. I don't think they're following the same order as the pro draft. It's totally possible that these were in response to something else. Because, like you said, the positives of the pro draft are that you have the champions, right? Everyone has the full champion. They might just be locking in things out of order here.
Well, so we have Tristana and Morgana both locked in on one side and Alistar on the other, and the Swain, right? So like those
Yep.
aren't being locked in per position. And the bans are definitely real. I think they just didn't use pro draft.
Okay. Yeah, that might be fair. They are
But that's
ripping
just because
through
this
these
doesn't make
though.
sense to pick like this if
Yeah,
you'd use.
through that. Kha'Zix, this is the second ban phase Kha'Zix taken away on the side of FSG. Brundle and Zinjao the next ban, so they're trying to pinch the jungle pool of
Yeah, that's a
Haru.
big mistake. Haru's jungle pool is massive. Um, like actually massive. There are just so many champions, and most of the champions that he has really high games played on, like the Cossack, just not a lot of recent games. I don't think he's playing them. I think it's a short way to put it.
I mean, we are still early on in the season. It's possible that some are trying to experiment, draft different compositions, try to see what fits the style of their team early on, and experiment from there. But we do see Evelyn locked in for Slave. Will be an interesting response to the Nocturne. Nocturne obviously won't be able to target her unless he is in direct vision of a champion. So I haven't seen Evelyn much in 5v5 environments, but has been dominating solo queue recently.
Yeah, she's definitely a favored pick. I would really like to see a Yasuo here going mid and then keeping the Swain bot lane. We'll see what happens. It's actually looking like Yasuo. Swain will be going mid, no Yasuo. I didn't actually see them playing Yasuo, but like the composition looked beautiful.
That would have been good. Yeah.
Evelyn definitely a pick though, taking over solo queue mainly because of her ability to solo carry. Yeah, the Aurelian Soul would definitely be a comfort pick here.
They may go towards it. Hovering Cassiopeia right now. Is locked
It
in.
will be a good pick into the team.
Cassiopeia good at the counter engage. Will be providing from the back line. Well, hopefully to help out the Tristana. But, I mean, that's a pretty squishy team on the side of FSG. Be reliant on that Evelyn getting ahead early on. Darius, pretty easy to be kited. The Alistar can knock back Peel very easily. See how these fights play out. When you're looking at these drafts, do you think one team may have gotten an advantage over the other?
So I think that like first we could talk about like how squishy they look over on FSG because we got a while, so we'll go point by point here. We got a little time to speculate. I think the Darius is kind of taking the position that he took back during the what was it called, the Bruiser update? Was that it?
Yeah, Juggernaut, right?
Or the Juggernaut. That's what I'm
Yeah.
looking for. That's the key word they wanted to throw at us. So Darius essentially at this time was used in place of tanks on compositions because if a team were to actually dive onto them, the threat was that Darius would 1v5 you. Now, if you've been watching competitive play or even playing your own games, I know it's just happened in my scrimmages, Darius is absolutely ridiculous. He can 1v5, just that simple. I mean, I had my team playing against diamonds and we're below, a diamond elo. And still my like top laner who has played maybe 3 games of Darius and solo queue in the past 2 months was able to kill 4 of them in the middle of a fight after we had all died. The champion is at that heights again. And he's ready to do that. I think that's what this composition does. And because there's so much dive on the side of RW, I can only imagine that dive is going to get countered by the Darius, who will be shredding through everyone sans the Alistar.
The Alistar pick is good especially with the Unbreakable. Darius won't be able to reset off of him, but so many members for him to target. The Nocturne generally building pretty squishy of recent. Jhin immobile should be easy to take down, but the Aatrox with his ultimate available kind of counters the reset ability of Darius. And the Aatrox known to be very strong in lane. I haven't seen the Aatrox versus Darius lane myself, but Aatrox known to be a lane bully, Darius known to be a lane bully. It may be something that is exciting to watch.
Yeah, I can only imagine that top lane will go one of 2 ways, or I think it ends in Darius winning or going even. I think it's a short way to put it. Either the Darius is going to be capable of getting the early lead and then like poking him out, or he'll end up getting like poked out himself and then he'll play passive until Black Cleaver, at which point I think he just beats up Aatrox. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure the Black Cleaver is the point where there just isn't a buy you can make.
Yeah, maybe heavy jungle influence this game. Nocturne known to want to farm out until level 6, use the ultimate as much as he can after that point. But beforehand, his ganks aren't exactly the best. They're not bad, but they're certainly not good. Evelyn, though, can really get in and mix things up in her side lanes, in the mid lane, as early as possible. Has access to the charm. Wards don't spot her, so she can be around the map making plays early on. I think that's something FSG is really going to be looking to try to do.
Yeah, both junglers are going to be rushing to 6. You mentioned this about Nocturne, right? But like Evelyn, we still have to wait until 6 for those of you who don't know about the rework before she can get her invisibility now.
Yep.
So like with both of these champions looking to get 6, I think we're going to be in an interesting position where the junglers are either going to be having to choose between ganking early, because honestly, both champions have really strong level 3 kits. The issue is we're in a jungle meta where level 3 isn't really viable. So it'll be really interesting to see if the scuttle changes force the junglers to fight. We could speculate all day, but we're going to be getting into the game to see what actually happens.
Hopefully. Spectator delay has ticked down to 0. We will be getting into a loading screen. After that completes, we'll be into game. And then after 2 minutes of waiting around, unless we get a spicy level 1, which I would particularly enjoy, then we will be getting into the action. I'm excited for it, though. Nightfall.
Wow, there are a lot of RW fans in the chat.
Yeah, I mean, I want personally, as the Nightfall League progresses forward, I want to be able to read the chat with hashtag RW, hashtag FSG messages in the chat, and kind of do one of those meters where you can see which, the fan vote meter, essentially. Hopefully we'll get that sometime, but you can just see, looking at it right now, that RW seems to be the fan favorite.
Yeah, and I think it's a little confusing to me. I really didn't look at the players' ranks or their KDAs or win rates, because I think that those can just kind of be exaggerated or under impactful at this point. It's just kind of hard to really judge people. But from looking at team compositions, I think FSG didn't ban the best, but they definitely picked better than RW did, in my opinion. I think they have a really, really good chance of winning. I mean, they even took 2 Ignites to deal with the Swain.
I mean, been an absolute terror for 4 or 5 patches now. Kind of been toned down of recent, but still a pick in the mid lane, a pick in the top lane, a pick as even the bottom laner. You do as much as you can. A little bit of Cloud9 in the chat as well.
Oh, we're getting the spicy invade.
Ooh,
this is like Taco Tuesday surprise, and the Morg misses the binding.
Tough luck there. I have a frozen spectator client, so you're gonna have to do your best solo casting to let these guys know what's happening while I reconnect.
Let me tell you, my favorite thing to do is the radio commentary. So we have an invade countering out of the side of RW. They're going into the red buff, and it's just a ward from the Aatrox who's going to be backing up. As all 5 members of FSG return back into their jungle, they're going to go spread out 5-point. It looks like only Darius is going to be walking over the ward from the connector to mid lane and top. Yeah, he does that, and there are pings immediately. So it's going to be a mirrored bot lane start after all that trading. Jhin is down a flash, though.
Ooh, nice. In down a flash. I'm feeling excited as I'm back into a loading screen. Gotta love it. I talked about the spectator client early on and how Riot doesn't really pay attention to it. It's one of those things that just appears to happen every once in a while. Hopefully we'll get me loaded in and get the action up on the screen.
Yeah. So just to prepare y'all for some of the spiciness that will be going down here.
There we go.
Swain has taken Minion Dematerializer and Stopwatch. Reminder that we're not on the patch for Stopwatch as optimal anymore. At least I don't think so. I could be wrong. I don't really play mid lane. Everything else looking pretty standard.
I have not seen it. I'm a mid lane player. I have not seen the Stopwatch Minion Dematerializer on pretty much anyone. Victor. And Victor is not exactly the most popular pick right now either. I have seen him in the LCK, though, once or twice, and then I saw some spicy Reddit posts earlier. Nice dodge there.
So we are getting trading everywhere. Are you back in?
Yeah, I am back in.
Oh, awesome. I didn't know that.
227?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, there we go.
I was just a little afraid. I was like feeling like I had to commentate a trade in the mid and bot at the same time.
That's right. I mean, that just feels sad. Nocturne floating up towards the top lane, and we were thinking that Darius might have the upper hand in this matchup, but Aatrox actually looking to get the better of him earlier. Nice trade there by Alexander. Nocturne decides to just go back into the jungle and farm up.
Yeah, we have the engage here from Alistar.
Oh, a little bit on the
kill.
bottom side.
Ooh.
Bad Burglar goes in. Flash and Ignite used. Now, Jacob might be the one who goes in, but come back is the Morgana. Jacob returns it with the flash kill. Now, Bad Burglar trying to do what he can as the Alistar, but 80 carries trade 1 for 1.
Oh, we have a disconnect.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we can talk about that last exchange just a little bit. I'm not sure exactly how much there is to say. Oh, wait, so first off, did you have a delay on the stream?
I don't know. I don't think so.
We should end it and add one if you didn't, because you can get stream sniped at this point if it goes past 3 minutes.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, hold on.
I don't know if you can add it in stream either. I just I'm about trying to protect integrity.
Output. I'll have to look that up. I'll have to look up how to delay. During the pause.
Oh, we have a
always
reconnect.
swap.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Usually swap.
They're gonna restart up in time. But yeah, I think that was just a classic overstay by Morgana. Maybe I'm misreading the situation, and the CS was just big enough that it was important, right? Because the lane was shoving into the tower on blue side. But I think that was just a classic overstay where you used your flash, you already committed, and you need to have value come out of you having used that flash. And maybe the value is the trade back, but Tristana uses all of her summoner spells to get it. Alistar still with flash up. Jhin had flash down the whole time, right?
Yep. Aatrox going in aggressively onto Kaukiki. Barely doesn't get the pullback. And Darius forced to walk away and recall.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard for Aatrox to pull off the kill here onto Darius.
Especially now. Darius might is going to just be walking back to lane. It looks like Morgana going for a gank. Level 1 does land the root. Here comes Cassiopeia, grounds Swain. A little bit of Twin Fangs action.
Oh, Morgana's level 2.
Yeah, Morgana. She was the one taken out early on in that fight. Did not get the benefits of the extra experience from Jhin dying. And then started roaming immediately. So see what they can make happen in the bottom lane. But once again, skill shots landing onto Alexander. One more shot should be enough for Ozzy. Gets it with the auto attack. Well played in the mid lane.
Yeah, that was pretty sexy. I think that's the only thing to call it. Just slither him through.
Right. And that's exactly what Ozzy did there, securing a kill for himself. And I would say helped set up by the Morgana earlier on. Landed the binding, took some of the spells out of Swain, chunked him down a bit, and then Evelyn comes in, lands the charm, secures the kill, giving FSG a slight lead now.
Walk up. I'm just looking over on this top side right now. Darius got a really favorable trade on an over-aggressive Aatrox, and we have to hope that he can manifest something out of this. I'm currently down 5 CS once all is accounted for.
Bush hiding, gets the apprehend. Now he's spinning. This mate could be there. Drumstick needs to run away. He's got 4 stacks. Flash is forced out of Drumstick, and Darius still has Flash available. Didn't want to follow, as Nocturne is on the top side of the map.
No,
Haru might be coming in. Kaukiki could go down. It looks like Aatrox just not getting taken low enough, and Nocturne secures the kill onto the Darius, who I would say overstayed.
Yeah, I think that was an overstay on both their parts, right? For one thing, you notice Aatrox still has only a Doran's Blade. He hasn't backed yet, right? So he's trying to match a Darius, but he only comes back with a Ruby Crystal, so the 150 health isn't the worst thing in the world, only until you take turret shots. But yeah, the Darius overstay, way more clear than that. Yeah, I can't picture a lot of low-tier players making that call. Also, though, if there's no jungler, I'm sure he gets the kill and walks out.
Yeah, you gotta expect the Nocturne to be around if the Aatrox is that low. There's no reason for him to hang around underneath that turret unless Nocturne is there. Darius didn't really read that play, and it's fortunate for Revenant White that happened, because that gets him back in the game. 2-2 in kills. They're actually a little bit ahead in gold. 6 minutes in. See who has the priority, but it's Cassiopeia who got a kill in the mid lane, and the bottom lane's just been slugging it out. Speaking of slugging it out, there's somebody leaving the game. Darius has a passive, may be able to get onto the Aatrox, but the Aatrox does have the ultimate. He is resurrecting and walking away. Both very low, but Aatrox still fancying a bit of a fight. Top laners really going at each other's throats. There's the pause.
And Darius doing it all without a phage.
Impressive stuff. He's a little bit
Yeah,
ahead
this
in
is going to
CS.
start reaching the point, though, where they can start to snipe.
Yeah,
It's like, it'll hit 227 or 27, whatever it is. And then it's like real time.
maybe, yeah. I think Nightfall, we'll have to talk to him. Maybe in between games we can get the stream reset with a delay, but this game we may have to worry about it. The only guard that I have in place is swapping to a pause screen, and whenever there's a pause, so that way they can't see any of them or anything like that. But any diligent player looking
link
for
things
it
in the
could
chat. What?
check this out. YouTube.
That's not
shortened
okay.
wait. Nah. Do we have any?
Well, the
mods
link's
in the
not
house?
bad.
What is it? Oh yeah, that was risky.
I already clicked it.
The puppy? I want to see a puppy. Thinking about getting a puppy myself pretty soon. Looking at them. Go out and visit some on Thursday nights. There you guys go. You're welcome. Get more insight into Eki's perfectly boring life.
I mean, I wouldn't call it perfectly boring. I think just boring would have sufficed.
That's true. I don't want to give myself too much credit. I would have gone with the opposite, but the way I
Sometimes that
describe my
dry
life
humor.
typically is not stream appropriate.
Not stream appropriate.
Nope,
Are you out late night with the boys?
I am on
Oh.
Saturdays.
You didn't hear that on stream. This is PG-13.
Gasp.
We're good people. Oh, now everyone's posting YouTube
Uh-oh.
links.
More link.
Oh, I'm just waiting for someone to post a cartel video. Oh, they're just puppies for now.
Yay!
This is awesome. I love
I
this
don't care
chat.
if you're baiting me or not. I'm gonna have to watch
Yeah,
that.
seriously, I'm so used to getting baited. I'm not like. Oh, right now we're in a pause. Sorry. There's been a lot of disconnects from the Evelyn. I'm pretty sure she's just doing this so that way when she feeds, she has an excuse.
Yep, that's what I do. It's a good excuse. It really is. You ping, force a lag spike, ping your ping out loud to show in like 600, 650, and then when you misplay, you be like, "Oh, guys, my ping, my lag, I disconnected. It wasn't that I'm terrible. It's my ping." Foolproof plan. Evelyn has reconnected, but no unpause just yet. Sorry about it, Twitch chat. We know you're here to watch the action, and unfortunately for you, the pause screen, not the most interesting of gameplay.
Well, so how do you think the game's going so far?
Pretty even.
Any
This
advantages?
is what I expected. That Darius kind of having his way, but getting countered by the Nocturne being up there. We are unpausing back into the game, ladies and gentlemen. We see Jin throwing the dancing grenade on. Still in
we
the
still have a
top
fight top
lane.
lane.
They are
I
so
forgot all about
low.
this.
They are so low. Drumstick and Kaukiki back and forth all game.
Oh, wait.
Continually
I don't want my
trading.
camera moving. I just want to focus on this top lane. You can just tell these men are too stubborn to back off. This is to the death. There is no backing off and teleporting back to lane.
Both junglers
Here's
on the
the
bottom
engage.
side of the map too. Aatrox got one
I think he
sweet
just
spot
won.
hit, and Darius is forced to limp out of there. Nice job by Drumstick, establishing dominance there. And level 6 Nocturne, waiting for the engage on the bottom side. Here comes Bad Burglar, flash engage, knock up onto 2. The pulverize is good. Haru comes in and gets the kill onto Morgana. Very clean from Revenant White.
Yeah, that was just clean coming out of Haru there. You just saw the moment. You know the boys told him to make that one. That wasn't him saying, I'm coming. That was them saying, get over here now.
Yep.
And Darius did get the wave, so he's going to get an advantageous back here with Drumstick. That's really nice. Got to give Kaukiki some credit there.
Did it. I mean, it's been a very close matchup, so these 5 or 6 minions may be the difference in the 1v1s. Ozzy looking to get aggressive onto Alexander. The big eye comes through. He's forced to flash away and use the ultimate. Ignite and flash burned on the side of Cassiopeia, but very favorable in establishing dominance in the mid lane.
Yeah, the issue is that Ozzy's actually out of mana here, so not going to be able to shove the lane just as effectively as they want to. Still going to get the job done, though.
Now Swain's going to miss a little bit of CS. Cassiopeia doing a very good job. Now Kaukiki and Drumstick once again going over. And this is a huge minion wave that Kaukiki is fighting. He's trying to dodge the sweet spots and not get knocked up. But does end up going down to about half health. Aatrox winning that trade.
I don't even know if you call it a trade or if you call it fighting the minions when they're just berating him. Yeah, that's just a misstep there. You can't be tanking a whole minion wave regardless of which champion you are.
Yeah, Fizz may be the best at tanking a whole minion wave, but still probably shouldn't do that. Kaukiki may be learning the hard way. Here comes Evelyn up to the fight. Top lane, Drumstick already popping the ultimate. Here comes the charm. Let's see if he can hit it. No, Drumstick dashes away from that one. Now gets locked up. FSG Slave is the target by Drumstick, but now the dunk comes through and gets the execute on. Nocturne shows up. He flashes, but he misplays the Q. And now a fleeing Evelyn gets taken out by Haru. Revenant White takes another one for themselves.
Yeah, and it's all going on to one man, and his name is Haru, currently sitting on 3.8k gold. Yeah, that's not a made-up number.
No, 3.8 thousand. Real number, guys.
That's terrifying. That's terrifying.
Use it. That's a lot of gold onto one scary ghost, and nice job by Alexander, dodging a little bit of the poke from Aussie. But a 3-0-0 Nocturne? Not fun to deal with.
So I'm going to be really interested to see the build he's going here, because he has gone for lethal tempo.
Drumstick going for it in the top lane.
Murdered.
Solo kill. Landed everything there onto Kaukiki. Gotta feel bad.
Yeah, you can tell he's a little upset about the gank that came his way, and now for his troubles, they're going to pick up the Rift Arrow.
Right, Bad Burglar going in onto Jacob. Tristana stunned up, forced a rocket jump away. Now the next target is Merc. Bad Burglar backs off for a second. Now the return engage after Root lands. Big bomb. Jacob returns the kill onto Jin. Spicy Boys is dead, and now it's Bad Burglar left to fend for himself. Ignite used. Alistair low on mana, dodges the Root. This may allow him to go out. One more shot could be enough, but no. Alistair gets away with his life. Great job. Meanwhile, Haru on the Nocturne coming in the mid lane and getting his 4th kill of the game.
So I think that we're seeing a telltale problem here for FSG, and that's that they're very rarely taking the initiative. I'm outside of the invade that we saw on the Tribush, level 1, which actually the stream didn't get to see, but it happened. I swear they did it. They did take the initiative to start the game off.
Liar.
It's really just been RW running onto them and them reacting. As close as we get to aggression is the top lane, and as we've seen, that hasn't exactly paid off.
Drumstick running away from Kaukiki. Darius gets the apprehend. Pull is good. Looking for a decimate. Cannot land it. Doesn't even go for it. Huge wave, though, and Drumstick intelligently just backs off. Lets it come into his turret. He'll be able to clear this just safe.
Yeah, that's a lot of CS going his way, too. It's going to take up a bigger advantage here than he had before. Almost at 10 minions now. But actually, as I said, both junglers are on the bottom half of the map. Invasion is just spotty, if I could call it anything else.
Yeah, Drumstick going for another solo kill onto Kaukiki. Nice job by Darius. He does get the passive. Drumstick backs off. Junglers on the bottom side of the map. Ocean Drake available for either team if they want to go for it, but nobody has really tried for that objective just yet.
Yeah, FSG is doing a pretty good job here with the wards. Hopefully they can clear out something that's going on, you know, over on this like too late brush. But even that's not too important.
I feel like I'm just noticing now how clunky and goofy Aatrox's like stanced walk animation is, but goofy or not, Drumstick goes in for the dive, and another solo kill goes over to that Aatrox, absolutely dominating this top lane. They start dominating this game. This is a 2,000 gold lead in favor of Revenant White.
Wait, Darius built Stinger.
Going Trinity Force.
Oh my god, an O2 Darius going Trinity. Someone drop this man. That's all I got for that. If you're O2 Darius building a Trinity Force dead, seriously, I mean, I could be wrong. This might be an each a shoe moment, but god. Oh.
Rift Herald burned on the top side of the map, and that nets them first brick. Even more gold going in the pockets of RW. Jelly even taking out a pretty big chunk of the second tier turret. Great game so far by Remnant White, mostly off the back of the top side of the map. Aatrox 2-0-2, and of course Haru 4-0-0. Bad Burglar wanted to get the headbutt pulverized, but misses it. Now the curtain call comes through, trying to land the stun. Drumstick there, gets a knock up onto Merc. Flash forward, everybody all in. Jacob is the target, and he is shut down by Drumstick. Drumstick now resurrecting and is trying to walk away from the turret. Decimate pulls in, and then Kaukiki flashes forward, trying to get the kills, but Spicy Boys picks up a return one back onto Darius. Drumstick needs to be careful. Spicy Boys half health. 4-shot does it. Grenade comes through, and then the finish from Haru gets him another kill. Evelyn a little bit late to the party. She is the only one left on her team, which means she doesn't get any favors. She doesn't get to tap the keg, and now the Ocean Drake should go in favor of Revenant White.
Yeah, and Drumstick commits his entire passive just to tanking the turret. I'm talking a full health bar. Sorry, we might have a steal coming in. Nah, it's clean. They saw the plot.
Even forced the ultimate from Evelyn. Now she doesn't have any room out from Drumstick.
Yeah.
My favorite chicken piece could be my favorite top laner. He is. KFC Drumstick, 4th kill of the game.
Got to give credit to that smite. Drinking heads up at least about trying to stay alive. And Tristana's going to get the return back onto Jhin.
Nice job there from Tristana, picking something back up for the team after a little bit of an overstay from Jhin, who's died 3 times this game, over half of his team's deaths.
Yeah, he's definitely, and it's always been on the back of his own engages, which is sad to say. I think that last one was the only time he's really gone down by himself, you know, just kind of playing the game.
Oh, I play the game. The only time I win, because I'm playing against bots.
A combined 9-0 in the top and jungle right now. This is where RW, I think, just has an advantage that might be getting too big to overcome. It's the lethality build coming out of Nocturne. Really happy that he's building the Merc treads there. Darius still building Trinity Force. He still hasn't killed anybody. Maybe at 3k gold it'll happen.
Ugh.
He's actually got 4k gold. He could have bought one by now.
He is in base right now.
I think it's the moment. I think he's waiting for it.
No, he's walking back
just
to lane.
AFK going now.
Yeah, with nothing.
Absolutely nothing bought. The man.
Interesting. So yeah, in his pocket, it looks like, okay, so maybe he picked up Ninja Tabby.
Oh, he did. Okay.
So he did spend some of that gold, not electing to go closer to the Trinity Force pickup. Will help with the Nocturne, Jhin, and the Aatrox. Nocturne and Aatrox being the ones that he is really worried about. We've talked about how dominant the top side of the map is. Aatrox has 8 kill participation out of 12, and now FSG Jacob going in onto Spicy Boys one more time. This Jhin may be the only one who really isn't having a fun time this game. He's died 4 times, mostly just to the rocket jump in from FSG Jacob, and Jacob continually is putting the hurt on this Jhin and is picking up gold for this team. And now mid lane, Kaukiki does get the apprehend, and now the big damage from Aatrox and Naru coming in for the double kill. Stopwatch is broken, but I would say 100% worth. for them. KFC Drumstick trying to get the chase onto Slave. He can dodge the charm. He should be okay here. Charm lands, and Drumstick still has chase potential. Gets the knockup, gets the comment. One more auto attack does it. KFC Drumstick, unstoppable.
So yeah, I think FSG can come back next game. I have faith in them.
Yep. But this game looks a little bit rough for them. Over a 5,000 gold lead in favor of Revenant White. Absolutely running away with it. They have the Ocean Drake. They have this gigantic Nocturne who is not going to be missing any damage. Duskblade completed. Merc Treads completed. It looks brutal for FSG. But if you are FSG, what can they do to slowly climb back into this game?
Sell the Stinger.
Tell the
Buy
story.
a Kinder Gem. And finish a Black Cleaver on the Darius.
That's
my first
man. The
suggestion.
Stinger, it's working. It's working.
Sell the Stinger.
Just wait, dude. It's gonna come online. Speaking of coming online, here goes the Darius getting absolutely destroyed. Kindle Gem might have helped him there, but honestly, might not. That is so much damage coming through. Another kill going over to the Nocturne. 8-0-0. Perfect game. Let's see if the Aatrox can 2v1 up in the top lane. First target is Merc, but Jacob has plenty of damage.
Tristana
Easy
might just
shutdown.
carry.
Yeah, this is the 1 point for FSG that can do something, and it's the 5-1-1 Tristana. Has the Storm Razor completed, as well as Zeal and the Kurtis Shard picked up. Will be completing a second item very soon. 175 CS. Jacob could do it, but I really think that if Nocturne at any point chooses he wants that Tristana to die, he has the damage to take her out.
Yeah, the Tristana definitely the best spot. If anyone's going to carry this team, it's going to be Jacob, and it's going to be on the back of Ozzy, who's, going to have to be playing the same type of threat that Darius is on the back line. I still think that this starts and ends with Darius trying to enable the Tristana, who's capable of carrying the game with an item which might reduce armor so she can deal more damage. Not that I could think of one of those that synergizes really well with him.
I don't think they put one of those into the game yet, but I do know
Aatrox didn't rush it.
of two.
He's
I
not
know
5-1
nope,
because of it.
Nope, I don't see it. My eyes are closed right now. That's how horrible my play-by-play casting is, or how good it is, because I'm not even watching, and I can do it. But we do have the Stinger. Maybe he'll build into the Gnasher's Tooth for the super spicy build. Drumstick coming in onto Kaukiki. The topic of our conversation, still no Trinity Force build for the Darius. Feels a little starved at this moment, but Slave looking to try to get something going. And looks like they're not going to get anything going on the bottom side of the map. Next objective could be Baron. 20 minutes and 45 seconds into the game. Baron is live, and they are strong enough. They could really burn it down.
Yeah, they could definitely be burning the Baron down. They could probably burn down anything they wanted to at this point. I don't think it's the best play, because if they do get caught there, right, they're going to be dealing reduced damage. They're probably going to get caught out, and their health bars will be low enough they'll actually be murdered. So, maybe choking out the vision and looking for a pick is a better option, because I think FSG is much more afraid of the Baron pick than RW is looking forward to actually taking the Baron.
Drumstick has teleport available if he wants to continue to dominate Kaukiki in the 1v1. But look at that. Look at what Kaukiki has completed. Are you excited?
Yeah, we're going to see how this works. I hope it was all worth it. At this point, Nocturne and Aatrox have, kind of climbed themselves into relevancy off the back of this. And hopefully the classic 21-minute power spike is going to lead to split pushing or kills or
Classic.
anything. The classic.
It is. It's the far behind Cassidon Classic, where you finally pick up Roa at 22 minutes after getting destroyed all early game. And Darius, I know he's feeling it. Aatrox trying to get up on top of him, but Darius does have the new Trinity Force ready and available, but it's not an even fight. Great flash from Kaukiki will help him survive for just a little bit longer, but too little too late. Bad Burglar gets himself a felony, taking the gold of Darius.
So maybe he needs to get a gauge with it.
Maybe
Oh,
the
wow. Did
Baron
you see that
being
auto
started up.
attack? Just saved by the TP.
Uh-oh, Alexander going in. and is in super duper Swain Dragon
go
Man
boom,
form,
boom.
but now he is trying to get onto the backline. Needs to be really careful. Tristana doing so much damage, but Swain picks up the first kill of the fight onto Morgana. Next target is Cassiopeia. Ozzy slithering away
what?
as quickly as possible, but Drumstick
someone
is the
better
one who
pop
picks
her.
it up and does. Now it's a 5v3. All 5 available for Revenant White. Slave maybe looking for a Miracle Steal. Is spotted out
Here
by
comes the
Swain.
TP Darius.
Darius
He's coming
is
in,
behind
boys.
him. He's got the
They all
Trinity
got
Force
reduced
available. Let's see what happens. He's not going to be shredding through the armor, but a big pop from Tristana. Jacob may have done it. He's going in on the backside, has the double buffs. Next target is Haru. A reset for Tristana, gives him a double kill. Now he flashes onto Alexander. Alexander using the stopwatch will gain up a little bit of health, but Jacob has plenty of DPS. Secures another kill for himself. Now it's Jin and Tristana alive. Tristana with the double buffs jumps away, picks up 3 kills for herself.
Yo, I'm just applauding this man. He got his kill. He went in there. He had his eyes dead set on Jin. I mean, Jin's still alive, so we all know how that worked out. But he got the kill. That's what's important.
I mean, the Tristana doing what he can. FSG Jacob strapping on his lifting gloves. He puts the belt on and is carrying as much of
Wait,
the
did you
team
say
as
he puts
can.
the belt on?
That's right. He puts
He
the belt
took the
on.
belt off.
And then he
He
shows
started
it.
whipping people with it.
That's right.
That's what I saw. I saw some spankings coming out.
You got to put it on before you can take it off, you know? And so he does that promptly, takes it off, starts whipping the opponent, and Revenant White needs to be more aware of what Jacob can do. The Tristana, 230 CS, Infinity Edge completed, Rapid Fire Cannon, Storm Razor, 7-1-2. I mean, the Tristana has proved in these fights that if he's allowed to sit and hit, he will. And that is what cost him a little bit of gold in that fight. They are still very far ahead though. Revenant White up 5,500 gold off the back of a lot of these towers. 2 Drakes in their favor. I mean, the game is still in full control, but they do need to be more aware of Jacob's presence.
Yeah, it's definitely going to start to spiral out of control. I think because it's a crit build, it's totally rectifiable, right? Alistar, Swain even could build like an Omen here. It looks like Aatrox is already building one.
Going for it.
Yeah, I think if you can just read this right, you're fine.
Depends on what, I mean, I'm not a very good reader personally, but thank goodness I'm not on Revenant White. Revenant White trying to push down this tier 2 in the mid lane. Actually rotating into the bottom side, they may be able to spot out Darius, who is too far forward, but they are not. Dragon coming up in 1 minute and 45 seconds. Revenant White might be a little bit scared because of the potential throw that they had at the Baron last.
Yeah, I think that the Baron's definitely scary to do. I mean, that's what I was talking about when, the first prospects of it come up, is that you're really in a bad position when you're fighting Baron and the other team. It's dealing you reduced damage and hurting you and everything else that comes with it. Just, it's easy to take now, not easy to fight against anyone else while taking them still.
Cassiopeia is recalling.
I just realized that's a bit of Witch Tristana. I really like that skin.
Yeah, one of the classics, the old school.
Yeah, the hat. The hat's really what gets me. It flomps back and forth as she walks. It's like absolutely adorable.
You pretty much only see Dragon Trainer Tristana though because of how adorable that skin is. Heartbreaking,
Oh
but
my
also
God, yeah.
adorable.
Oh, doesn't it have a name, the little dragon?
I
Chat, can you
don't
tell me what his name is? I can't remember.
identify the dragon. It is not Toothless. Toothless is a Night Fury. Tristana does not have a Night Fury. Cowpeak needs to be careful. Here comes Drumstick going very aggressive onto the Darius, but tempered aggression. Shows restraint and pulls back while the rest of the team wasn't exactly in a position to pressure mid lane. Now Dragon spawning in about 15 seconds. Baron vision is cleared out for Revenant White, and we'll see what they try to rotate to. If you're Revenant White, what is the map play?
I mean, so you have two options here. One is the 1-3-1. It's your classic option. The issue is you have a really clear one. You don't have a really clear second one. If that's really bad phrasing, but makes sense enough, right? It looks like it's either Swain or the Nocturne. And the only reason it's Swain is because he took the teleport. And that's probably what you end up doing. So I'd put Swain bot lane, Aatrox top, and then my 3-man in the mid. And have Nocturne clearing out camps ready to ult. Probably between the bot and the mid. Because Swain should just be looking to like shove past the river and get out.
That is the second air drake of the game secured for Revenant White. Now they will be rotating across the map even faster. They could group up in a classic 4-0-1 and just let the Aatrox go onto the Darius, but they need more pressure from the 4-man group. I think they're still a little bit afraid of the Tristana without the dive buddy accompanying the Nocturne. That being said, Swain has Roa fully stacked, has the Zhonya's, has been putting out good damage in these team fights, even though he's only 1, 2, and 10. We see Kaukiki and Drumstick at it once again, and Kaukiki actually doing pretty good this time. Drumstick needs to be careful, does not have the knockup, uses the ultimate. He's flying around, gets a good crit in the sweet spot. Now he's resurrecting. He knows he may not be able to take out this Triforce Darius. He flashes forward, gets a kill.
Oh!
Nice job.
I love watching him flash and still get dunked. It makes me so happy.
Doesn't feel good if you are the one getting dunked on, but Drumstick, who was at that point 6-2-7, falling to a 1-8-2 Darius,
Yeah.
who has Trinity Force and Thornmail.
You gotta ask how much of that was Thornmail and how much of that was Trinity Force, because he wasn't doing that before Thornmail.
No, he wasn't. Maybe the curtain call could be enough to secure the kill onto Kaukiki.
Yeah,
This
that's
Spicy
booty.
Boys gets the snipe. And now 4 members of FSG on the Baron. They have started it, and this could be the play they're going for. Swain has teleport, looking to get in. It's Jhin, Alistair, Swain, and Nocturne ready for it. Spicy Boys already picks up a kill onto the Evelynn. Now there's no jungler. The engage comes through from Bad Burglar. Nearsighted Morgana is gonna go down so quickly. Aatrox comes in and swoops it out from underneath the rest of the team. 5 men onto the Baron. This should be
Where
free
did she
for
go?
Revenant White.
She just disappeared.
Doing her best Lance Burton impression and just disappearing out of there. You could be David Blaine, whoever you want, whatever magician you are. The Baron also being a magician and will disappear in favor of Revenant White as Haru secures that one for himself. That fight went absolutely terrible for FSG.
Yeah, and the Morgana even flashing in there. Really confusing stuff. Maybe they're just feeling desperate and like they need to make plays.
Big gold lead for Revenant White. I could see how FSG would feel the pressure. The Tristana is the big win condition that they have, and I think there are a lot of tools on the side of Revenant White that allow them to get onto her. And right as the Tristana died, the rest of the fight absolutely fell apart, and we saw a little bit of desperation from Merc flashing in with the ultimate to try to lock people up. But I think it's just too little too late from FSG. They're hanging on, they're clawing, but they are 10,000 gold behind, and also a Baron power play for Revenant White for the next couple minutes.
So, yeah, I think this might be a problem with the draft starting here with FSG, where they're playing a lot of champions that they're not putting time in on. Solo Q Reflex unless they have, like, Smurf accounts. Particularly, I'm looking over at the Cassiopeia's way, where there are a lot of champions that Aussie plays. Cassiopeia maybe shows up once in the last week or two. And I mean, we see it where the CS is high, the gold is there, the tier is finished, and the damage just isn't with it.
Not quite yet. Baron buff. Huge minion wave on the top side. They push 4 members strong. Swain has not quite joined Revenant White just yet. 5 members of FSG grouping up to try to defend this inhibitor turret in the top lane.
Yeah, I'm even looking here, and I don't see the Evelynn showing up on my list here that Slave plays. Maybe he plays it a bit, and I just don't know it. But these are champions that aren't being too impactful. We have a fight
back. Drumstick, and now the counter engage from Bad Burglar. Nocturne trying to get onto the back line, but gets locked up by Ozzy. And now the Tristana doing his best from the back side, but the first kill goes over to the Jhin. They continue to press forward. Inhibitor turret has fallen. Zhonya's used by Alexander. Ozzy doing his best to put out the DPS from the back line, but the inhibitor goes down on the top side, and now they're looking at the inhibitor in the mid lane.
Yeah, that was actually really impressive. Focusing in on the Cassiopeia there just because I had noticed her. I mean, actually dealing a lot of damage and even ending up in the front line at the end, still sending out E's.
There's a
That's
binding, forces the Guardian Angel out of Jhin, and the rest of Revenant White sacrifices his life. They say, we can't save you, man. You got caught yourself. You will go down for the 5th time this game. Spicy Boys in the gray screen, but 2 inhibitors, top and mid lane, taken out for Revenant White, and now only the bottom lane inhibitor turret stands. Great Baron push from them.
The FSG here pushing for this Drake. This is an Infernal. They're a team that scales. This is huge for them. They're against a Jhin who, if he gets this Infernal, you can guarantee it doesn't matter that he has... I mean, he has a pretty substantial portion of his team's deaths, right? He's near 50% at this point. None of that matters if Infernal gets picked up here by RW. I mean, the game has looked really close to over at a lot of points for FSG. This will be it. I think it's the way to put it. Without a doubt.
But I don't think that FSG is going to be able to try to contest this.
Yeah, 2 inhibitors down, it's hard.
They don't really have many options. That's just kind of a product of the poor early game by FSG, or the great early game, if you want to praise Revenant White. The Aatrox drumstick absolutely dominating with the help of Haru, and the top jungle duo went off this game and continue to go off. 4 Drakes secured for Revenant White. They've got 8 towers down, including 2 inhibitors, and now they have their sights set on the final inhibitor turret, grouped up as 5. This could be the final push for this team.
Yeah,
Lane gets the root. Here comes the big pick onto Kaukiki. Slave almost taken out. Merc is golden, but resurrecting comes the Aatrox. Nobody dead just yet, but then Jhin picks one up with the 4th shot. Spicy Boys looking real scary. May have 5 deaths, but with the Infernal Drake and pretty much 4 full items completed underneath his belt, plus the Quicksilver Sash, hitting for about 1,000 damage on the 4th shot. Certainly not somebody you want to laugh at. Spicy Boys, very
Minions
fast.
are crashing.
Yep, that is a lot of
Everywhere.
minions onto the Nexus turrets. And unfortunately for
First turret
FSG, they're just pulled too far. Kaukiki looks to get the engage, apprehend onto 3, but does not get it. That's a double kill for Jhin. Continues to press forward. They now have the inhibitor in their sights. All 3 inhibitors down for Revenant White as they back up through mid lane and decide they want to play this one safe.
I disagree with that. I think, you know, you got 2 dead y'all there. Swain has TP coming up right now.
I agree with you.
Swain's TP was up. This is
I think a little passive from Revenant White.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to play with their
You're at
food
the
a little bit.
35th minute. You just took all the... Maybe you want double super minions in every lane before you go in. You want the cleanest possible victory.
I'm thinking they're going for the memes. They're gonna come in. They're gonna try to get a clean ace before they finish the game.
Yeah, but the mid lane inhibitor's respawning like almost right now, I think.
That could
If you
just
look at
be
it, it's looking
nerfs.
pretty close. I could be wrong.
They don't want to throw the game. They have such a huge lead. Maybe they aren't fully aware of how big they are. Playing the safe route, we do see him pushing in the mid lane now. 4 members strong, waiting on the Aatrox, who does have teleport in case they get into any trouble. But they're just escorting these super minions down mid. Bottom lane pushing slowly behind it. Top lane will be crashing in as well. About 1 minute and 30 seconds before they're on the Nexus, and FSG has one final attempt to make this last stand at their Nexus. Super Minions continue the push in. Slave trying to get on to a flank, but just nothing the Evelynn can really do. Curtain Call is open. He says, here's the play, and I'm the star. Haru going onto the Evelynn and picks up the first kill onto Slave. So much damage from the Nocturne. Now Morgana is golden, and they're chasing on the backside. Darius has gotten into the back lines, but he just cannot do enough while the rest of his team gets obliterated. Jhin goes down for the 6th time, but the victory goes over to Revenant White. 37
Yeah, I'm glad we
minutes.
got the epic fight at the end. You know, at least they gave us that. Maybe that's why they didn't end. And the first person out of the game, Cow Kiki, just alt F4s.
GG.
He definitely had the worst scoreline, not the worst performance.
As a victory for Revenant White. Yeah, 3 and 12 Darius, not feeling good, but something that we have to mention in these games, in Nightfall League, is it's a series. It's a best of 3. Games like this where you potentially have a bad game, you cannot let this tilt you, or else you're out immediately. And they do have a chance to come back and go 2-1 in this series. They can't let it impact them mentally.
Yeah, if you actually look at the damage charts, Darius has the second most damage on his team, the champions. Like, he was actively fighting, and I mean, a lot of this is inflated, right? Because he was fighting the Aatrox for a while, who had the second largest health bar. But still, like, I really, for as much as, like, you know, he gets ragged on and should be probably a bit for this game, like, looking at the rest of his teammates, I mean, the Evelyn who's disconnecting, so maybe she has an excuse, but still wasn't very impactful. Never really found the way to enable herself coming, 6, which is really important. Like, Nocturne's always in the top lane. You can blame Darius at some points, like when he's pushing forward to go get the kill. But still, he's never getting that help when it's being done to him. There were 2 kills from Aatrox in the exact same fashion that were never retaliated against. And I think that's the fairest marker to put on it, is that, like, the same thing happened to him, except there wasn't a jungler there.
Yeah. And sometimes that's just the way it goes. Maybe Slave was not confident in helping get the team ahead because of the connection issues. We'll see if that gets resolved. They may even be looking for a sub for the next game if Slave has a unreliable connection. Tough loss for them in 37 minutes and 25 seconds. We do see Drumstick went pretty ham. Haru always there to help out, and Spicy Boys, even though he died a lot, was providing consistent damage in these fights.
Yeah, so I think we can actually talk about here just real quick is that there is definitely a problem with RW in closing. This game shouldn't have gone 35 minutes. I think we can all agree on that.
Yep.
This is one of the fastest game time metas. So this goes 37 minutes. Wow. That just shouldn't be happening. I don't think so. And I think that is where you need to be focusing if you're FSG. You need to say the games are going to go long, and because of that, you need to, like, draft scaling, which they definitely tried this game, but, like, scaling still needs some type of protection. And I think that this starts probably with not picking Evelyn, and maybe picking a mid laner who, like, while being capable of scaling, is also capable of, like, actually being played by your mid laner. I'm actually going to look at Ozzy again and see if he's playing a lot of Cassiopeia, because if I recall, his KDAs and CS are really good.
I mean, the Cassiopeia was really well played. We saw in a couple of fights, huge petrifying gazes, actually locking the Nocturne in place and allowing them to get a lot of damage in before he can one-shot somebody. And that's very difficult to do with the nearsightedness from Paranoia and just the speed of which Nocturne travels when he does select a target. So great work by the Cassiopeia. Just too little from the team as a whole. We saw Darius got too far behind. The Evelyn was having connection issues, and Tristana and Cassiopeia did their best doing the damage from the outside of these fights and trying to provide that consistent DPS. But when you don't have a front line helping you against these super fed bruisers and divers, there's really not much you can do.
Yeah, it's I think that tells the story pretty well.
I think we may. Oh, there we go. We're actually I just got the invite into the champion select. So we'll.
All right, FSG electing for
Getting
blue
in there.
side. Proud of them.
FSG blue side. Oh, okay. I think they have to swap. Is that the case?
I mean, you'd still prefer blue side regardless of who you are, I'd hope.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's like Rev White got to choose the first game, so they chose blue. Now FSG doesn't want me playing for him. I was in their last slot. Darn it. But I mean, that was a great win from Revenant White. FSG, how are they going to recover from this one? I do see Slave is in the game lobby, so hopefully his connection issues have been resolved.
Yeah, so I think that we already kind of touched on this a bit, but I think it's looking at the one really weak point where Revenant White is playing, and that's their inability to close a game. That game shouldn't have gone 37 minutes. I think if they're playing better, they can make a game go 37 minutes every single time. And
Yeah.
I think maybe this is something Revenant White has to focus on and pick more early game focused champions and say, like, we are so much better in lane than FSG that we can just go win lane and win the game.
Well, I think something to point out is they actually got ahead and won their lanes pretty easily. And so they started the snowball at about 16 minutes. They already had about 4,000, 5,000 gold. And it took them a very, very long time to close out the game. Another 20 minutes of being ahead before they fully got in. And that's because one time they kind of threw an early Baron, giving a few kills over to the Tristana, and then they played very passively until they could get the next Baron, or sorry, until they attempted the Baron the next time, which was about 6 or 7 minutes later. I just think that Revenant needs to be a little bit more confident in their calls. They obviously are confident in their abilities to teamfight and to skirmish, but as far as their macro, they did look just a little bit slow. It wasn't bad, but their calls didn't seem to be that decisive.
I think that's a pretty decent point there. And I think you illuminated something there that I actually didn't notice too much myself. And that's that it's not so much a problem with closing out as it is a unwillingness to close out without Baron, which is something European teams have suffered from almost religiously for years.
That's what they do. Those damn Eurasians.
It's just really odd to see something like that at such a high level of play for such a long time in one region. Like, it's just so specific and it keeps happening.
Well, here we go. We are loading into Champion Select. Revenant White took game one, and they are now going to be on the red side. First ban is the Aatrox. They do not want that in the hands of Drumstick.
Yeah, that seems really fair to not want to give him Aatrox. And the Swain band. Oh, FSG has just thrown their draft strat out the window and said, we're going to react to what you did last game. And that's how you get hit by exactly what you were afraid of from game number one.
We'll see what the response is from Revco. Obviously, the Nocturne is a contested pick. They don't want to give that over as a first pick to Slave. Maybe they're going to try to pinch the jungle once again. That could be something that impacted this early game, is how many jungle bans we saw. We saw the Kazakhs taken away. The Trundle was taken away. There was a few others as well. Fiora, the instant lock-in, though, from Kaukiki.
Yeah, he definitely plays quite a bit of Fiora. It's right up there with his Jax. Jax was left unbanned. I think Fiora's a little bit safer of a choice because her W is a little bit more far-reaching than Jax's E is, right? You can pick around one, the other. A little bit harder. I mean, I guess you could always just play Poppy. Apparently, that's a good thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
In the Zoe, I'm loving the lock-in. This is what you want to take away. I was thinking this is the pick that you want Ozzy to be making. I'd really like to see him take Syndra here. Syndra was the other pick. Syndra counters Zoe. I think that they have actually forced Ozzy to take a pick in which he's going to be super impactful on, and I'm really excited because I like this player.
See, Alexander is going to get his hands on Zoe. Zoe has been known to be the menace of high elo, the menace of competitive. Pretty much everyone always bitching about Zoe as a champion, and it's because she's very, very strong. But look at that. In response, Drumstick says, I see your Darius last game, and I raise you my Darius.
That's so disrespectful. That hurts. The Kinney is a really good pick. This is something that both junglers are actually contesting here. I mean, Haro is a con main, but still something they're both going to be contesting. And now that the ADC has been locked in the jungle, it opens up, everything.
That's kind of something I enjoy about this meta, is it opens up everything, right? You can have the Kindred in the jungle. You can run a no traditional marksman composition other than her. You can run a double marksman composition. You can run a triple mage. There's so many things that you can do. Aurelia, though, probably going into the hands of Ozzy, into the Zoe.
Really? I was hoping this is a bot lane Aurelia or even flex top.
Zoe,
I'm still hoping for the Syndra into the Zoe, though.
Aurelia is a good pick into Zoe. Can negate a lot of the damage with with her E and the steadfast presence. And
Do you mean
as
W?
or I haven't played Aurelia.
The
Is it
damage reduction.
yeah, the damage reduction. I think I had the name of it right,
I think
but
that's the W. I don't know the name of it.
um regardless, Aurelia has an ability where her blades spin around her and reduce damage. She fires a skill shot out in a direction, and that can really help negate some of the burst from Zoe. But the big thing that Aurelia is good at is getting onto squishies and killing them. And Zoe, pretty easy to get on top of, is immobile, except for the ultimate where she can jump forward. And
Still
then
immobile in it.
and then she still goes back to the same spot. So Aurelia will know where she's at, does have the DPS, does have the damage. It can really be a menace to immobile mages such as the Zoe. Xin Zhao locked in the jungle. A couple more support bands, Pike and Braum taken away by Revenant Whites,
really good.
and then another couple supports. Pike and Braum, and then Morgana and Alistair banned away for the side of FSG. It's really pinching the support pool.
I'd imagine he goes Thresh here because he actually plays quite a bit of it. But he hasn't played a bit of it lately. The Fiddlesticks is a casual pick here for Bad Burglar. He plays it quite a bit in solo queue. I'm not sure how I feel about the Xin Zhao into the Kindred. Maybe it works really well and I just don't know it. I can see how the ultimate will function.
Yeah.
Please pick Heimerdinger.
Yeah, they may be looking to take the Heimerdinger away from the nasty Fiddlesticks Heimerdinger combo. Varus is the eventual lock-in for Jacob. Had a very good performance on Tristana last game. Varus is a strong AD carry. I would argue stronger than Tristana at the moment. So locking in a slightly better marksman pick for Jacob could be a win condition for FSG. And there's the Thresh you predict.
Yeah, this is just the fallback pick. If they're banning the Pike and the Braum, it's what they have to have expected as well. And then right here, I think all we can really see is
Emo.
Oh, I lied.
That's what you were gonna say, right? Emo?
So I'm gonna be real with you. Teemo is written down in my notes as a champion that this person plays. But it's definitely not high up on the list, and it definitely was not about to come out of my mouth.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. I think this is the first game I've ever casted with a Teemo in it, and Spicy Boys giving up a lot of kills last game on the Jhin. We'll see what he can do on the Furry Yordle. Fiddlesticks Teemo.
Oh, they're all auto attacks.
Seems cancerous. But yeah, I mean, it's a good pick. The blind onto the Kindred, the Fiora, the Aurelia, or the Varus. Very, very useful. And that may be what was in mind with Spicy Boys as they lock in the pick. We're seeing these team compositions. The big one, again, I want to highlight Drumstick into Kaukiki because of how aggressive they were in game one. We now see Drumstick on Darius into Kaukiki's Fiora. Another very volatile match.
Yeah, I think we can imagine the Drumstick here is going to be terrifying. I think terrifying is the appropriate word. Yeah, this man's a menace.
We talked about how strong the pick is, and we didn't exactly get to see the strength of the pick too much until Darius completed that Thorn Mail and was 7 kills down on the Aatrox and was able to get the one. So you know the champion has the ability to do ridiculous things. See if Drumstick can make him do those ridiculous things. Another matchup we're looking at is the Xin Zhao into Kindred. Mechanically, we can see how Xin Zhao being able to block off the damage of the people in this may help out. And also, if he doesn't target the Kindred, can knock the Kindred out away from the ultimate or any of the other targets out of Kindred's invulnerability. Could work out. I haven't seen much Xin Zhao, but is a very good all-in champion. And with how good Haru was on the Nocturne, I would expect that his Xin Zhao is probably...
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see where he puts his level 3. There are a few options for him to go. One thing that's really good about Xin Zhao is he's going to be picking up the Scuttle Crabs, right? And because of that, he's going to be in a unique position to gank after, 3 camps into Scuttle. And he has a really strong kit to do it with. It's really about where he puts those resources, though. I think the bot lane is probably a non-starter. They'll be shoving Fiddlesticks and Teemo between the Poison and the Crows. They cannot keep a lane in one place, even if they wanted to. Zoe will be doing the same thing, right? Even into Aurelia. This is just kind of what the champion does. She shoves, and that's how she stays safe. So that means you look topside, and that's actually the only place Xin Zhao can go. Fiora actually might not even be shoving either. That's the worst part.
Yeah, and that was the matchup that had the volatility last game. Haru and Drumstick up against Kaukiki and Slave, and Haru and Drumstick handled that matchup last game. And they have great champions to try to do that again. We're really interested to see what happens in the early game, and we'll have to watch if Revenant White does end up taking a lead in this game. We're going to be keeping a close eye on how quickly and how confidently they can close out.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be an interesting one. If I'm Slave, I know that I have to start on my bot side and make my way top side as soon as possible. I think you just have to know you're going to meet Xin Zhao up there. And if he does that much, he'll be able to salvage the lane. I think Darius is going to be able to beat the Fiora. But maybe they know something I don't. I mean, it's definitely a skill matchup regardless. There is no clear-cut winner.
Yeah, it's
We're in the game though. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll be there soon. I wonder if I'll have to reconnect again.
Yeah, you're kind of right there. Your blood hurts. The most tilted player being put on to carry isn't the best idea, but when the whole team is playing carries, at least they're not alone.
My blood hurts. SS. Two S's in blood hurts. I actually know this person personally, but I actually know my blood hurts with only one S. So I'm wondering, is this the same person, or is this some sort of imposter who's trying to impersonate the true My Blood Hurts?
Your good friend?
My good friend, My Blood Hurts.
Who was doing that? There was someone in high elo who was changing their name to impersonate other high elo players and then being toxic and racist.
I played, this is a side anecdote, but I played 2 ranked games today. In the first one, I got somebody intentionally feeding and saying very racist and inappropriate things. And then I was like, wow, well, that sucks. And then I was like, well, I'll try another game before I go off to cast. The next game, I get a different person also running it down mid, saying racist remarks and telling people to KYS.
Why is it always got to be racist things? Like, why do white people just suck so much?
Well, I can't answer that question, but I can answer why it has to be racist remarks, and it's because the Riot's like filter for trying to ban champions very specific on a few phrases and words, and I'm sure you can imagine which words these people latch onto when they're trying to, I don't know, get banned. I don't know why they try to get banned, but I assume maybe they're on like someone else's account, something. But they just latch on to whatever phrase they think's gonna get them banned the quickest. And unfortunately, as us whites don't really have any phrases that that are gonna trigger the quick ban. Did you get exited out of the game?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not just me.
It's added every single player on my friends list. I'll get in. I've been doing this ever since the glitches happened because, like, you never know which person it's going to be.
Did you add me, perchance?
No. Do I need to? I can.
You might, so that way I can, like, piggyback off of you.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I can't add friends, right? Can you add me?
Yeah.
Sit straight, same as in here.
Sit?
Oh, I can't add you while I'm in spectator. I'm alt F4ing.
Okay.
All right, here you go.
You're seeing double.
There we go. We're back.
All right. This is what we have to deal with as amateur casters, and it feels sad. You can see half of your friends list online stream.
Oh wow! Now it's my blood hurts with 1S.
Oh my god!
It really hurts.
My blood really hurts. See, that's funny.
He fixed it.
He's a silly little girl.
Oh,
right.
damn. He called you a little girl. You gonna take that? I heard we need a 1v1 to settle this.
I'm
Yes, this
totally
is
down
the
for that.
stream. Welcome. We're gonna be getting back into the game any second now.
That's right. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, my blood hurts. Oak Tree, fake waifu, fake Carrie Lowell. Everybody participating in the chat. We love.
Well, if you're my
we
number
love-
one fan, I can't be mad that you say I suck.
Yeah.
I think that's how that
Yeah,
works.
I'm pretty sure that's how that works.
I mean, I kind of want to get mad, but like I can't because, I mean, then I'd lose my number one fan. Can't have that.
Yeah, could be the only one too. I'm amassing a total of about 0 fans, and so I feel your pain. Slave is the only one not connected again on my screen. I'm trying to load in. Everyone else is 100%. Slave is at 0 for me. Are you in the game?
I'm loading in, but Slave is at 0.
Yeah. So,
And Haru is at 60, and Fiddlesticks is at 60.
Yep. All right. We're
I
on
can't
the
believe I
same
said
page.
Fiddlesticks right.
You heard that Eki did a 16-hour stream. Really impressive. Let me go into a little bit of detail while we have a break. I was streaming game dev on a Saturday night, and actually Saturday afternoon, and I went to end my stream and I hosted someone else. I forgot to stop streaming after I hosted, and so when that person got done hosting, my stream was still on. I was unaware of this. And I get messages from some of my Discord people, probably everyone, saying, "Hey man, you left your stream on." And by the time I got the messages, I was already downtown on a Saturday night doing real life things that adults partake in occasionally. And I was like, "Oh, great." I got unable to download spectator data again. Long story short, I come back at 3 a.m. Pretty blitzed, and have to shut off my stream that had been on for like 10 hours with nobody actually streaming. And that is how I became a Twitch sponsor.
Wait, why'd you jump right to his number 2 fan?
You're number 2.
Yeah, it's like I got a number 1 fan, and you have a number 2 fan.
Hey, I got a number 2 fan and a number 7 fan. I'm just waiting for other people to fill in the numbers in between.
I have a desk fan.
Keeps you nice and cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got kicked out. I'm gonna try to spectate you again.
I'm still trying to load in, but Kenny's still at 0%.
This is NA production quality, ladies and gentlemen. This has nothing to do with
Ooh.
Nightfall.
Oh, what's up, Sky? I scrim with you all the time. It's your boy Henny and Hose.
Oh, shit.
I hope I don't have that big a reputation.
That's a great name. Why don't you go by that and not sit straight?
Because that one's not going to get me any type of casting gigs anywhere.
Except for in BTL.
The who?
Black Twitch League. Oh, hey, I'm in game. Are you in game?
There's a Black Twitch League?
Yeah, I used to, me and my roommate would cast for them. They're awesome. They're like my favorite league to cast for because you know how you were saying like, oh, I can be professional. Well, they don't care. They let you cuss and go wild as long as it's like entertaining. I'll hook you up with them after the stream. They're pretty awesome. I haven't streamed for them in a really long time. I assume
they can't see the game.
They cannot see the game, but that's okay because you're not missing much. 1-to-1 in kills.
Don't worry, chat. I'm always reading, even if I don't comment because y'all are being mean.
Yeah, I'm used to him being mean, so I just cry and mute my microphone. And that's about it. The game is on. Are you in the game? Can you see?
I'm still loading in, but once I do, don't worry, a lot of comments.
All right. Here comes the engage from Thresh. Kindred already coming through on the Lantern Express. Nice hook lands onto Spicy Boys, who turns it around onto Varus. Now Drumstick has teleported in onto the backside. He's got double buffs. He's auto-attacking away onto Slay. Picks up the first kill. Drumstick secures 2 for himself. That's a double kill. And a third is secured by Teemo. They absolutely turned that one around. And now Revenant White, it's looking amazing for them 5 minutes into the game.
Aww. You know, the chat told me it was an easy win, and it just kind of keeps on happening like this, where it just explodes, except this time I didn't get to see it. Credit, I guess, to the Kindred for having picked up a kill in the middle of all of the destruction. Although
that
we'll
was
be
that
going
was
for
early on.
Blood Razor.
I don't know what happened where the Kindred picked up a kill, but they were 1-1 when I put it in at about 4 minutes. So I think they may have done something.
Wait, can we start
cheesy
taking
early.
bets on what item Drumstick builds here? He's got the 3-0 advantage, so he's ahead Darius this time. I wonder if he even wants to build Trinity Force while
Nashor's
ahead
Tooth.
3-0.
He's going for Nashor's Tooth. I'll put 14 Eccles on it. If you don't know what those are, it doesn't matter.
I'm gonna put 5 Schmeckles on it.
5 Schmeckles, 14 Eccles, and if anyone else has anything to bet, drop it in the chat. We'll compensate you after the game. If you're somebody who doesn't have the cash to put down these awesome bets that we have in the middle of the stream, well, then maybe you should consider joining the free Nightfall single elimination tournament hosted on Friday night.
Plug.
They have a $50 prize pool potentially for the winners. You guys should join that one up. If you want to see more details about that, go ahead and go to the Nightfall Gaming website, linked here on the Twitch channel. It's recently been revamped, and my God, it just looks fantastic. Actually, I haven't.
I mean,
looked
it
at
doesn't
myself.
belong in a museum anywhere, but it's pretty. It's pretty.
If you
Also, I
need-
haven't looked at it either, but I'm supposed to hype it up, so like,
Yep.
pretend I did a good job.
Aurelia going aggressive on Alexander. Exhaust already used. FSG Ozzy
This is where it gets
could
bad.
get it in, and it looks like he will. Unlike a teenage me.
Yee. Not touching that one with a 10-foot pole. As Aurelia goes back in to start shoving the wave out. Unfortunately, it's a cannon wave, so it's going to take a little bit of time, especially with no mana. Too bad she can't pick up the, what is that called? Chrysalis?
I'm not sure.
It's the one that gives you mana, and no one uses it.
I don't know. I actually have never played League of Legends before. Don't really know any of these names or items or abilities, anything like that. Dude, this Darius is huge right now. 51 CS, about 10 ahead of the Fiora. But Aurelia, we talked about how, or maybe I talked about how explosive this matchup is for the Aurelia in favor of her. Already almost up, is up 15 CS and has a kill ahead on Alexander. It's just going to get worse for the Zoe.
Yeah, it definitely will. I think this is one of the few saving graces they're going to have. This top lane's just going to continue to be bad. I think Drumstick's just the better top laner. But teams deal with this all the time, right? It's not like professional teams don't have to deal with the fact that one player is just going to outskill the other. I think it's just about not picking things like Fiora.
Fiora actually
or
going
maybe-
all in onto Drumstick, hits 2 vitals, gets the 3rd vital, has the 4th here in a second, flashes for it, and actually gets a little bit of the healing, almost dunk available for Drumstick, but Kaukiki backs out. I don't know why he didn't go for the dunk. Maybe the execute wasn't quite there. Either way, Drumstick is able to get out, and Xinjiao is working his way towards the top side.
Yeah, but that's as good as it gets for Kaukiki right there.
Yeah,
That really is.
tough for him. Did everything right, still couldn't get enough damage onto the dude.
Yeah, we're obviously not in comms here, but like this could be a problem on either side. It could just be a problem with drafting in general, or it could be a problem with Kaukiki not having realized that like Drumstick is just good at this top lane thing. And if playing lane bully will do exactly that.
Yeah. Drumstick.
Oh, there's a gank coming in. Oh, this pause is bullshit.
Yeah.
And they pinged it. Do you see that? You can see the
do.
blue ping on the map.
Literally,
Oh, come
yeah,
on.
literally paused it as the gank, but Slave opportunistically disconnects for the 3rd time in this series. And I think this could be really unfortunate for FSG not really having a stable connection from their jungler. But Revenant White needs to take advantage of this fact and snowball their lead that they already have ahead into a quick victory. We got everyone chanting for the DQ.
And by everyone, just every Juan.
Every Juan, yes, just the Juan in the chat. He is not the overlord of this.
Unfortunately, I agree with him. I think this is a pretty bullshit pause. You can't see the gank coming and then pause. Like, come on.
Hey, hold on.
What do you think they're talking about in comms right now? If they shouldn't have had Slave play on a bad connection again.
Possible. He has reconnected in, and
so do you
hopefully
think
we'll be on
Slave
pause.
comes right to top lane here, or do you think he
Definitely.
finishes his blue buff?
Definitely goes straight to top lane.
I
I would guess
got
Aurelia
this
starts
feeling.
rotating there too. I don't know why I have a feeling that they're gonna start moving people there, but just
I think there's going to be a
caster
massive
intuition.
overreaction and an engage in the bot lane, if I'm being entirely honest, because both flashes are down on Teemo and on, or actually flashes are down everywhere in the bot lane.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
just had a huge cluster down there with.
I could imagine
3
this
kills
being the
going.
moment. Let's hope it's the moment. I'm just expecting overcommits everywhere because everyone just like bugs out due to the pause. That or they're all respectful and back off, except for the Jhin.
We may never know. The pause continues on. Sit straight. Who is your favorite champion and why?
It depends if you mean to play or thematically or right now.
Let's
Right,
go
'cause,
with to play right now.
So to play, it's definitely to play right now. It's Graves. Graves is just my life. Like I put everything into Graves in solo queue. I'm always on him. He's free. I think is the way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you play jungle, you should be on Graves.
I
Thematically though, I don't know how you don't love Jhin. Just the best
I
design
watched
champion in the
a
game.
ton of Mulan. So
So you're not a big fan. You kind of over it.
yeah, got it memorized. I got pretty much every song memorized. So just doesn't feel as good. Ooh, we're resuming back into the game. Look at this. Action may ensue. Haru on top of Kaukiki, but a great riposte there, and now Slave somehow made it up to the top lane like he knew what was going to happen, and now Kaukiki gets destroyed by Haru after the ultimate ends. And now Ozzy, like some guy may have predicted, roams up to the top lane, and Haru is forced to flash away. Meanwhile, the only thing that hasn't happened is the aggression in the bottom lane. Here comes the hook, just barely misses from Merc. Was expecting the Teemo to move forward and was wrong.
Yeah, when it comes to good thrushes, they make plays like that, and it looks really bad, but it's really not that bad because that's actually just like them trying to predict where the champion will be. So when they hit one like that, it looks incredible.
Nice. Oh, that was a barrier pop.
Okay, these thrush hooks are beginning to look scary.
And speaking of scary, Alexander, a real frightening spot as he's being chased by Aurelia and Kindred. See if the Zoe can get out of this one. He's roaming down the bottom. Should be one more auto attack from Slave after this. We'll do it. Slave picks up a kill onto Alexander. Second death for Zoe. And Aurelia gonna be able to go back and catch another wave.
You want more out of the flash here if you're Kindred. I think you should either be invading the jungle or pressuring for bot lane / dragon. But maybe I'm too greedy and taking Raptors is the exact thing you want to do, and then you can go spend this 1,500 gold.
Drumstick going for a trade onto Kaukiki. Does get the apprehend. Nice. 3 stacks, but now has to hug himself against the wall, or else Yor may be able to pick up the healing from Duelist Grand Challenge of Death Mastery. That's not the full name, but that's the name I've given it. And,
so that's actually only the second ultimate coming out of Fiora, and if you notice there, Darius seemed to have had the perfect read on it that it was coming. That
he also
is
hasn't
scary.
He's been playing very conservative, I would say, on these trades, electing to back off and hasn't tried to go for any dunks, even if it's just in a trade. Maybe this will be the first one we see. Drumstick gets the big dunk on, and it's there. Drumstick getting the solo kill on the top lane. Talked about how he hadn't used the ultimate just yet, and I guess he was waiting for the perfect time to use it, which was right there.
You see the dagger in the Seraph pistol, right?
I do. I see it. He's going towards The Nashor's Tooth.
Yep. And the Sheen.
I guess maybe we aren't good enough Darius mains.
It's totally possible. I mean, so I think it's fine if you're ahead.
Yeah.
I think the real problem I had with it was when I saw 03 Darius building it, because like that is just not what you want at that point. You want health more than anything.
Yeah, I could see the Trinity Force being good as a 4-0-1 Darius, 0-4-1 Darius. I always, in low elo, it's a thing where you're like, oh, if you're behind, build tank, regardless. And sometimes building tank isn't the catch-all solution, but there it would have been good. Darius avoiding a 3-man gank in the top lane, so Drumstick absorbing the pressure and still coming out ahead.
Yeah, it's definitely not even just about building tank, because I think in this situation it's just about building tankier, which are just different. I think the issue a lot of low elo players have is that they hear that advice and just apply it as a rule of thumb, even though League is a game that's like very fluid, right? And like sometimes there's also just good item pickups that like don't seem intuitive. Adaptive Helm being one that I think a lot of players miss out on. Even Bramble Vest.
Yeah, Bramble Vest is fantastic and do a lot of tough matchups that you'll have in the top lane, especially like the Gnar or the Kennen. Somebody who's going to be trying to poke you down, but Bramble Vest can absolutely shut those. Like that item alone, just the 1100 gold, can shut them down completely in lane, and a lot of people are unaware of that. We'll see what Drumstick is able to do when he completes the Trinity Force, but did not elect to go for the Nashor's Tooth. What hit? I didn't see it.
It was just little bits of Zoe mechanics with the proto belt charge she had. And then she got the like auto attack. It amounted to almost nothing on the Aurelia, who was about to heal it all up.
Yep.
But it looked really fancy and I liked it.
Feels nice. Speaking of feels nice, that's a hook onto the Teemo. Gets the blind, and now Fiddlesticks, the Crow Storm, gets a return kill onto Varus.
No!
Zoe almost hits the sleep from over the wall, but Merc does a good job. Miss times onto the Zoe hop. Bad Burglar uses the Zonias. That was not a good time to break the stopwatch. Will go down to Slave, but built enough time for Haru to come back in. Flash pull from Drumstick. Gets the passive, walks away from the Thresh there, and Zoe comes in for a little bit of tongue taunting, and they get the first brick on the bottom side of the map.
Ooh, flash.
That was a Hex Flash?
That was a Darius flash.
No, Darius flashed at the beginning to pull, so I think that was a Hex Flash.
Okay.
I don't see any.
No, unless Zoe's Hex Flash just came out. I'm gonna watch.
It could have been a Zoe
confused.
Flash like pickup.
Her Hex is up, so.
I think it was a pickup, a W pickup from Zoe. Spell Thief.
Yeah, it might have been a Hex Flash.
Weird.
We'll see.
Crazy.
Oh no, wait, you're right. It's just a pickup. I see it on the ground now.
She got first
Oof,
brick.
I just get scared when I hear that like clunking noise.
Teemo has swapped to the top side, the bottom lane. Looking to push in again up here. Merc, though,
And-
waiting in the bush. Lands the death sentence. Does throw out the lantern to try to get the Kindred in. Play is enough
Kindred
to
wants
pull
none of that.
Teemo back, but like you said, Kindred not exactly fancying the fight there.
Yeah, you can't really blame her either. I mean, that's just not an advantageous fight if you're the Kindred. Another hook coming out, just relentless
lands
onto the Teemo.
Death sentence over and over again. Spicy Boy's able to flash out for now, and the blind gets him his life and allows him to walk away from that one. You know that Jacob is tilted there. He just didn't even move his champion after that. Xinjiao with a knock-up Crow Storm over the wall, but is not enough damage. The lantern provides safety for Slave. Close
There are
deaths
fights all
there.
over the map.
Really are. Alexander using the Protobelt to try to get out of range, but needs to flash away from Ozzy, who is disgustingly big. Trinity Force picked up for the Aurelia, and the Zoe just can't do much. The Twitch chat's asking why I keep talking about the Nashers. It's because last game, Cow Kiki on Darius sat on a stinger for a really long time, even though he was behind, and so we were trying to figure out what he was going to build into. It was obvious that it was Trinity Force, but I was making the meme that it could be a Nashor's Tooth because that would be just as useful as the Trinity Force in that situation. We do see Kaukiki, though, doing much better this game. 124 CS on the Fiora. Has the Tiamat. I mean, it's 0 and 2 Fiora, but is ahead of the Darius in minions.
No, but I mean building right at least, right? Like buying the item that gives health regen and the ability to shove waves, especially waves when you're under tower. This is like speaking to the fact that she's currently ahead a wave on the Darius, who's up 4 kills anyway. You got to give credit where it's due. I still think it would have been better to have tower farmed on something that can be impactful despite being behind, but I'll hold that back for the rest of the game, I swear.
X-Flash used by Zoe there, trying to get some poke damage onto Aurelia. I'm not a big fan of the Hex Flash pick from Alexander, but haven't really seen him make too much use of it. We'll see what happens in the late game. The 0 and 2 Zoe forced into building the Seeker's Arm Guard. Kind of a tough time getting that damage out that you're used to seeing from the Zoe, but I guess maybe I could be wrong. Already popping half health onto the Kindred. Another big chunk of damage puts Kindred
Yeah,
down
Kindred's
to
not happy that you
1/3.
mentioned Zoe's damage output.
Yep. The curse. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Slave. I take full responsibility for that. Rift Herald is the focus for Revenant White right now. Xinjiao and Fiddlesticks both onto it. They were spotted by Thresh and Varus, but no contest from FSG.
We'll have to see what happens here with the eye treatment. I think right about now it's not going to respawn, but it doesn't matter, actually. It's just going to be clean. This is a really big pickup.
Kaukiki going aggressive onto Drumstick, does get the full passive, but look at that huge dunk from Drumstick.
Oh, this is
and now
bad.
he decides that he wants to go even farther forward.
He can take it.
He almost had it, but gets disarmed by Aurelia at the end and shut
wait, his
down.
ultimate was never up, was it? Or was it on
It
the
was. It should have been.
Man.
No, it came
It's
on
okay.
the cooldown.
Zoe's here to clean up.
Yep. And
Call Alexander the janitor.
Alexander not looking that great here. His Greek
He left the mop at
ancestors
home, though. My God.
would be disappointed. I'm disappointed in that one.
I'm more than disappointed.
Aurelia gets an assist. Kindred gets another kill. A 5 and 3 Kindred right now. Rift Herald was used on the top side of the map, knocking down the outer tier turret, and more gold in the hands of Revenant White. But giving up these kills, it's pretty much an even game in gold.
Yeah, FSG is actually finding a way back into this one. It seems to all be on the back of the Kindred. And I think that's not the worst thing. Varus having finally completed the Rage Blade, I'm not sure if that's the optimal build on this patch, but it's definitely a build which hasn't been tampered with, so he'll be putting out the same consistent damage we've been seeing for a couple of patches.
A lot of people
Also, Trinity Force on Aurelia.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, Trinity Force on Aurelia. Trinity Force completed for Darius as well as the Executioner's Calling. Could help a little bit if Fiora is successfully able to get the ultimate healing. Aurelia pushing into the turret, but Zoe does a pretty good job of clearing waves. I wanted to mention the Varus build because he elected to go for the Guinsoo, so we'll have more DPS. We'll be able to put the mixed damage onto this team. But the build that we have been seeing in professional play is the armor penetration poke build that we saw a very, very long time ago from the Varus. So it's an interesting choice from Jacob. We'll see how well it pays off. A Teemo Shrimp chunking him for about half health. And
He's going
Air
with
Drake.
tank.
Ooh, so he's going for the full on hit.
It's a pretty decent build if you go for the Witsend and a Bork as well. Your output feels
Yeah, I mean,
nice.
it
The
is
issue is there's
a
no
lot
AP
of,
damage for the Witsend to backpack off of, so you don't want to really build it here.
See what comes through. Ozzy trying to go aggressive, but Darius shows up, and Haru's the one who secures the kill. They continue to move forward. Drumstick has a bunch of passives on. A flash from Bad Burglar. The fear onto Slave does nothing for them. Crowstorm still available, and the Drowsy lands onto Varus. Body blocked by Slave, but Spicy Boys flashes in with the blinding dart and absolutely pops Jacob. He'll be gray screened for a while. Continue the siege in the mid lane. Tower looks like paper. Goes down. Every outer turret has been taken out. Thresh lands a death sentence, but decides not to go into it. And Fiora gives away the life. Easy peasy. Drumstick is the next target for the death sentence, but this siege knocks down 2 turrets in the mid lane. They easy back
their
off.
eyes have gotta be on Baron. Get going, kids. Get going.
Revenant White, though, played the last game slowly, and we'll see if they continue to play this one slowly. They don't want to try to give something over now that they've established another 3,000 gold lead.
Oh. So sad seeing him not hit the Scrying Orb and just go for Baron there. It seems like you could at least wait out the pick or something. I think that this is just a problem to be playing this passively. With a lead, especially against a team that's building items for the late game. I mean, they're looking at building 2 Borks maybe.
Big wave cleared from Zoe and Teemo. Ozzy needs to be careful, does get out of there just fine, but mid lane outer turret defended for now.
Actually, wait, why did Kindred build that?
Not sure.
Yeah, their health pools will never get big enough that that's impactful.
Maybe autopilot. You know, you just want to pick up the percent health damage because you're.
So you buy the Blood Razor because you already have it. That's why I'm so confused.
Yeah. Just really is going for the full health build. Drumstick trying to get onto Kaukiki in the top lane. Misses a decimate, and Kaukiki able to just slide away. Baron, look at the vision on the top side of the map. They have control of the Baron. I want to see Revenant White working aggressively up there and try to secure this one to help snowball their lead, because they played last game so much slower than they needed to, and this is a good time early in the season to try to make more aggressive plays.
Hey, Trickster has me covered. It's probably a Nashor's Tooth and not a Wit's End. That would be awesome.
Yep. Could be the more AP Varus build. I was a big proponent of AP on hit Varus. For a while, it got picked up and was played consistently when it was all on hit marksman, and kind of fell out of favor, but still a very strong build. 0
yeah, it's been around for a while in the Varus community. If you actually subscribe to any of the champion main subreddits, the Varus mains was almost entirely dedicated to AP players for the better part of a year now.
Yep.
It's honestly a little odd too. They really don't advocate for anything else except full AP builds.
Yeah.
It felt like a meme at first.
Prefer it. I really do prefer the full AP builds, but the pro players doing something different, and they typically have a lot of analysts on their side. Here comes the engage. Or onto the back line. Spicy Boys, he has the damage. That is an asleep Varus, and now the Lamb's Respite comes through, but does not save Jacob. The rest of the team trying to pile up onto Aurelia. Ozzy goes onto the back line, trying to trade the damage, but a big dunk. Haru is the one who secures the kill. Next target is Kaukiki. That is 3 members dead from FSG, and they are going towards the Baron.
Oh, also, my blood really hurts. Regarding the Bork, with you saying it can definitely help with, the Darius and, kiting, I think that, the active is definitely one of the best in the game, but you can get the same exact effects out of a Phage and have gone Black Cleaver, and then, cleave damage away for your Aurelia, Imp for your Fiora, or even your Varus if he goes, the AD, because he's still going to deal AD damage. Yeah, I just think there are better options that do the same things. Especially into a team where you're allowed to build those. Bork is a sacrifice, in my opinion at least.
Yeah, I had a friendly neighborhood mother show up. Was not expecting her to be at my house. Yeah, of course.
Did you get her number?
I've had it for years.
Ooh, that's cute.
Yeah, I was gonna go somewhere with that. I decided not to. 2 Drakes picked up. We'll go back into the game. And Ozzy really needs to be careful. Triple stun, though, has a bunch of marks. Could try to dance out of this one, but is
wow,
not
Ozzy
Michael
is
Jackson.
just feeding at this point. I think he doesn't care.
I don't blame him.
No, he's just feeding. He wants his game over with. I'm telling you, that's
pretty
exactly what's
tilted
happening.
from the last game. Had, 12 deaths or something? I don't really remember. But
Yeah, he was 1-1-3 before he started just diving in 1v5. I think he's just given up.
And sometimes
Maybe his team won't FF.
Yeah. Team no chill. Need to go have Hot Pocket. Report, please. Inhibitor goes down on the bottom side of the map. The engage tried to come through from Jacob, but now he's drowsy, and that spells the end for him. Absolutely popped. Crowstorm comes through from Bad Burglar, but misses pretty much everyone. Drumstick is 1v3ing on the backside. Kaukiki picks up the kill. Nice riposte there. Keeps the Zoe damage off of Fiora for now. And there is an inhibitor down on the bottom side of the map, and Air Drake available to Renegade White. But I still think that they're going to play this slowly. Maybe they're like trying to practice their team fights. I'm trying to figure out why they are playing so passively. Or playing so slowly, maybe. Not even passively, just slow.
And yeah, Trickster, it's possible that a Warrior Enchantment might have been the better choice here. I think that the real thing to focus on is that, like, there were options, right? I think, like, Black Cleaver's still fine with Phage. I think it actually has a better effect than the active on Bork, but, like, I won't get into that debate. Still, I think the real thing to focus on is that, like, the right choice isn't to go to on-hit items that deal the same type of damage into a team that doesn't have tanks, or at least high health pool champions.
I agree with you there. I don't think that going for max health items in more than one max health item in this build is very efficient. The armor shred would have been much better. Here,
Yeah, you could even go fleet footwork if your goal is to kite.
Yeah.
Like, there are quite a few different paths you can take. I still think taking press the attack is the right option, though, obviously. Don't commit to fleet footwork on Kindred because you're afraid of being run down.
That's a huge pop from the blinding dart. That's about half health out of Kindred from Spicy Boys. Baron buff still on the entire team. They're probably going to look for an engage to try to take down this top lane inhibitor. Fiddlesticks has Crowstorm available, and they could definitely look to dive here, but they don't even need to. They pick up the inhibitor turret, top side of the map. Inhibitor is their next focus. Haru is on top of it. Death Sentence misses, but Chains of Corruption lands. Darius trying to get onto the backside. Haru is on to the Varus. Crowstorm, he's set to peel, and Aurelia is onto the backside. Zoe gets a kill onto Kaukiki. Kindred returns one onto Zinjao. Darius is on the back line doing so much damage. Zoe picks up a kill onto Merc, and now the flash forward. Teemo picks up
Kindred
Jacob,
doesn't have a
and
Bork
now
active.
It's just
keeps them back.
Yep, it's just the Kindred alive. Should be the game for Renegade White. They're on to the first
GGs
Nexus
are coming
turret.
in. That's it.
That is it. This is a quick 2-0 series. Revenant
Drumstick
White
is the
absolutely-
man of this team if RW has one.
That's right. Could be an
My
all-female
God.
team. We've seen those. Team Siren, shout out. Quick 2-0 for Revenant White, making it look good, especially off the back of Drumstick and Haru. I mean, you can't sleep on the Spicy Boys Teemo though either. He was popping people, and I'm not disappointed in his performance for the first Teemo game I've got to cast.
No, he played really well, and they did everything you could have imagined they were going to do into that lane. My God, the damage charts, though, really tell the story of the game. Just no real damage being dealt by anyone except Kindred on the FSG side. Revenant White just running away with it. Darius, of course, in the charts.
Yeah, that is disgusting. And the maybe not the disrespect, but the confidence from Drumstick to pick the Darius after he dominated the Darius in a previous matchup, picks it and does very, very well for himself on that in this game. Most gold, 13,000.
Oh, wait, can we call
Ran away
Drumstick in
with
for an interview? He's in the chat.
Yeah, try to get him in here.
Yo,
KFC
Drumstick.
Come into the casters chat. Maybe we might have to like move him in because I think it might be locked.
I got some really good
Oh,
questions for him.
I think
There are
we
quite a
actually
few.
have. There's other channels. See if you can drag him in.
I can't drag people. They ain't giving me those permissions here.
I'm league caster. I don't think so. I see Haru. Bad Burglar.
Oh, Drumstick, they want it. The people need it.
The
We'll
people
invite you to
need
a
it.
call if that's what we have to do.
Yep.
I gotta add, dude, I got some real questions. First and foremost, was Darius just a disrespect tick? Like, come on, I need to know.
Caster's corner. Hello. Is
Oh
this
wow, he can get in here
Drumstick?
himself.
No, this is not Drumstick.
Who is Drumstick?
Drumstick is Mr. Ramus.
Can you
Mr.
drag him in here?
Ramus. I think I can get him in here. Do you want who is this?
I'm Spicy Boys.
Spicy Boys, you're staying in here too. Because you had the
Oh, okay.
spicy Timo. We're gonna have questions for you too. Let me try to get
Yeah, so we'll start out with Spicy Boys. He's on the call first. I'm sorry you didn't win my MVP vote. Your boy Drumstick carried you, so I guess I'll start with how does it feel to know that you're the second best player on your team?
Well, it feels like I'm better than 3 players.
Wow, you're really running with it. You didn't even try to question me. You were like, "Yeah, I'm number 2. You can call me the shit if you want to." Man.
Okay. Oh, Caden's in here.
Yeah, I'm in here now.
No, but
Did you,
seriously, what influenced this Timo pick? Was there like any rationale behind it, or were you just like, we can beat these kids with it, so we're gonna do it?
I was told to pick it into Varus or Ezreal, so that's what we did.
Our coach has a draft plan, and he wanted us to pick Timo if they picked one of those champions.
Yeah.
that's something you guys practice?
worked.
No, this was the first game.
Wow, that's some real confidence in your coach there. Do you want to give him a shout out, or is he just gonna hide in the background?
Oh,
Thank
yeah,
you,
let's
Groot.
give Groot a shout
Hey.
out.
Hey, Groot, thank you for helping us win these games.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how much y'all needed it. You were definitely showing some type of competency there. So I do have to ask y'all as a team as we transition into this. Was there any reason that y'all were waiting for Baron before you closed out? It seemed like there was even one moment where you definitely could have closed and you waited until you had double super minions in every lane.
Specifically in game 1.
Yeah.
Just no reason. We just wanted to choke them, like strangle them, so they had no chance. I guess we didn't realize we could end, and we wanted a more higher chance of ending.
Yeah,
guess.
you wanted to go with the more secure route, the higher percentage, just starve them out of the game rather than potentially throwing.
That's fair. And y'all probably had the scaling advantage. All right, let's turn our attention to the man of the hour. Unless, Eki, do you have some questions for Spicy
what-
Boys?
Get Drumstick his questions.
All right, Drumstick. Was the Darius pick in game 2 pure disrespect? We have to start with that.
No.
No?
It's a matchup I know, and it's a matchup I can play well. Even on that Fiora did really good in the early game, the second I got the TP bot lane and got 2 kills, I feel like there's nothing she could do against me.
That's really fair. Now, I do have a question just about the Darius build because there was a bit of discussion here. Do you build Trinity Force every game or just when you're ahead? Or if you're behind, you still go Black Cleaver?
I just build it every game. It feels much better than Black Cleaver.
Really?
Yes.
So, like, even if you were in the same position that Kaukiki was in the game 1, you would have still built the Trinity Force instead of Black Cleaver?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have to take your word for it. You play Darius a lot better than I play any other champion, so.
Hey, man, yeah. It's A-okay.
There we go. That was a clean 2-0 victory. Thank you guys for joining us. You can go back to your teams.
Hey,
Appreciate
thank you,
it.
man.
Thanks.
Yeah, congrats.
Have a good day.
All right. We had the boys in here, and they were calm. They were collected. They didn't feel like trash talking at all. That's
Yeah.
the type of composure I like to see from these.
Yeah, you definitely got to give him credit. Coach has got them, I'm going to say whipped because I think that's the best thing to call it.
It trained, aware,
Trained.
mature.
Trained is better than whipped.
Trained is good. Drumstick absolutely taking over with the help of Haru Alexander, Spicy Boys, and Bad Burglar, all there to back him up. Is a great 2-0 sweep from Revenants White over Full Send Gaming. A tough 0-2 for Full Send. What can they do to improve going into the next series?
I mean, next series? You mean
Tilt-
like against the
tilt
team they're
issue?
playing next?
Yeah. They obviously
Draft adaptation.
had some flaws, but what do you think the biggest thing they can do to improve?
No, you start with the draft. It's all we can talk about. We're not there in comms. We're not there in the game. We don't play scrims with them. We don't know what's up with the team. There are a million different problems that it could be, right? And unless it shows itself through in a really clear way, us as casters can't really talk about it. We could say the top laner is bad and just be over with it, but that's just not the whole story. The top laner is just not as good as Drumstick is. And I think that's fine, right? Like, no one is better than everyone else in the game.
Right.
Like, that's just true. Like, there seriously is not a best player. Like, someone may beat him and someone else is going to beat that guy, and there can be a triangle of just ass whoop. So I think you have to just start with what you can, and that's the draft. Don't fully adapt after game one, right? You don't have to ban everything and then let them pick everything else. I think it's things like that. Like, it's keeping your composure. They definitely played a really good team out of RW, and their coach is, I mean, yeah, I think that's all I have to say. He is.
Yep. And I mean, not a terrible series. They kind of got crushed in the second game, but they made it fast. They made it entertaining, and we will wish good luck to them in their future games. For the last time, in case you guys haven't heard me shout it out a couple times before, there will be a free entry tournament, any elo allowed, this Friday, being hosted by Nightfall, with a $50 payout for the team that wins. So make sure to check that out, and to get more details on that, check out the new website Nightfall Gaming has for themselves, recently revamped and looking quite modern. I would fully suggest checking that out. Now, hopefully you guys do. I had an awesome time casting with you. Sit straight. Anything you have for your fans, your number 1 or number 2 fans out in the Twitch land.
Yeah, shout out to my number 1, 2, and number 7 fan. The rest of you didn't show up today, but it's okay. I'm sure you will another day. You can always check out the official rankings at www.don'tgotothiswebsite.com.
Right.
Yeah, that's it for me.
There you go. Make sure not to follow him in real life, or else he will file a restraining order. But social medias can be okay. I've tried to slide into the DMs. Never really worked out for me. I'm Eki.
Oh, wait, do we know where the sign-up is for the Friday tournament?
I don't know. I assume it's going to be on Nightfall like website, but let's check that out real quick.
Yeah, just make sure giving people the correct information. I just got a DM about it, so I figured we'll figure that out.
And nightfallgaming.org. Create a turn registration. I might be able to find it. Nope, it's a Hello World WordPress. So not exactly there just yet. I don't know where it is. Maybe we can get that information for you guys in a bit. We probably should have been a little bit more for that.
Hey, don't say we. Don't say we.
We
were prepared. We were great.
Nightfall,
on the other hand.
we did it, but they didn't.
Don't say we are Nightfall, because that's where I lose.
Yep.
I don't got a retort for that one.
I won't. Guys, thank you for watching. If you haven't followed the channel, please follow that for more Nightfall League. Enjoy your nights, and don't let solo queue kill your dreams. See you out there.
We're off.